Easy Explain the Problems of Philosophy by Bertrand Russell, chapters 7 through 9. So moving into chapter 7 on our knowledge of general principles. So kicking things off here, Russell starts by introducing his 3 laws of thought. So law 1, law of identity. Example of this is whatever is. The law of contradiction is law 2. Nothing can both be and not be. That tracks. And law 3, the law of the excluded middle. So everything either must be or not be. Something can't be both. Going back to the example of Schrodinger's cat that Russell himself is kind of predating, maybe anticipating. So I think those are interesting back pocket kind of laws of thought to carry with you. When he continues into chapter 7, I kind of caught a little nod to the utilitarianism of John Stuart Mill here, maybe even a nod to pragmatism, which is a big philosophy at the time. We have the likes of William James, Henri Bergson. So here Russell says if something is useful, it must be useful because it secures some end. The end must, if we have gone far enough, be valuable on its own account, not merely because it is useful for some further end. Thus, all judgments as to what is useful depend upon judgments as to what has value on its own account. Right? So hopefully that's kind of a nod to utilitarianism, pragmatism. He also had a little quip here on new knowledge. I was like, maybe there is some hope here. Russell says there's an old debate among philosophers whether deduction ever gives new knowledge. We can now see that in certain cases, at least, it does so. Again, you'd have to read a lot more there about what's going on towards the end of chapter 7. But yeah, I like that optimism when it comes to creating concepts as philosophy as practice. Russell's an optimist, it seems. So moving into chapter 8, how a priori knowledge is possible. So a priori, one of the big tasks that Kant tried to tackle. So here we have Kant according to Russell. So this is a rather large passage, but I did think that Russell did a really good job at introducing Kant, kind of breaking down his approach to this. Again, feel free to pause the screen and read these chunks to try to chunk it to make it a little more digestible. But as you can see, this is a long one, but I think it's very important. I think it's a great overview that Russell provides of what's going on with Kant and Kant's project. But there you have it. Moving into chapter 9, the world of universals. So this is where, again, Russell really starts to try to get into this problem of language that he sees. How do we come to know things through description, know truth through description? What's the difference between knowing things ambiguously with those universals versus definitely with particulars? So here Russell says we speak of whatever is given in sensation or is of the same nature as things given in sensation as a particular. By opposition to this, a universal will be anything which may be shared by many particulars and has those characteristics which, as we saw, distinguish justice and whiteness from just acts and white things. So you see kind of how he's setting up these different uses and understandings of languages. And then let's go into known universals as objects of thought. And this is actually what's going to carry us over into the next chapter as well. I'll get a little bit deeper into this, but for now, Russell continues by saying, that which many different thoughts of whiteness have in common is their object, and this object is different from all of them. Thus, universals are not thoughts, though when known, they are the objects of thoughts, right? So definitely seeing how he's starting to tie, just using this example of whiteness, tying knowing something universally, right, very generally. We can think about it in a certain way, and we can tie it to objects, and he's starting to see this tie of how he's using language to tie it to our thoughts in that way, and how we can actually talk about things and share an understanding of them. This is going to continue way more so in the next chapter, but for now as an introduction, hope this helps.